That's where we left off. We're picking up in the morning. However, before we do, we need to start with our vignette for the evening. With a loud yell, Soraya spun and smashed her hammer into the Red Lady's shield. The powerful strike actually caused the Red Lady to grunt and recoil a bit before she swiftly turned and drove her boot into Soraya's midsection. The tiefling gasped sharply and stumbled back to the ground. With a frustrated grunt, she slammed a fist on the ground. "Damn it!" she cursed. The Red Lady approached, gazing down at her with deep crimson eyes as she brushed back her phoenix red hair. "Do not despair. You improve by the day," she instructed and offered a hand, which Soraya took after a short moment. Pulling the girl to her feet, the Red Lady suddenly turned her head and glanced back over her right shoulder. Her body tensed as she scanned out in the morning light. "What is it?" asked Soraya. But no sooner had she asked than did the demon come into view. Scala's scorpion tail swung behind her as she approached, a wicked smile on her lips. The Red Lady spared a brief glance towards her charge, and with a quick exhale through her nose, took her cloak off, showing the resplendent golden armor beneath. She nodded as she wrapped the cloak around Soraya and instructed, "Run, as far and as fast as you can, and do not take this cloak off save for in the most dire of circumstances." Soraya gritted her teeth. "We can take her if we fight together." The Red Lady shook her head. "You dream, child." "Then you should go. I'll buy you time," insisted Soraya. At that, the Goddess of Rebirth just smiled warmly. "It is not I who Caldana chose to put her faith in. Now go, and see that my champion's faith is rewarded," she said, and drew her blade as she turned to face Scala. The dread demon of despair watched as Soraya began to run. "You think I'll let her escape?" she asked. The Red Lady sneered at that. "I don't think you'll have a choice. I was the greatest warrior to ever walk Terrasen, and I'm more than capable of keeping you busy for a while." Scala exhaled through her nose, summoning up a scythe made from obsidian and resting it on her shoulder. "Sanguine Moon has certainly taken on a different look. Bit of a downgrade, if you ask me," snarked the Red Lady. And at that, Scala snarled out and charged at her. But elsewhere, back in Lockheed's Landing, morning arrives. Has been a good night. You've all gotten a good night's sleep, and you all are feeling ready to take on whatever tasks present themselves this day. I need to find my Roll20 map. This neat. All right, sorry. There we go. But morning comes. You all begin to awaken. Brux, you find yourself downstairs first that day. You've just sat down at one of the tables in the Broken Line Inn. And after a few moments, a plate of food is put in front of you. As you look up and see the older tiefling woman who works here. You, Ara, you heard her name was. She looks down. "I hope this will be to your liking. I served a few Uruk before, but I seem to have trouble finding things that are to your taste. I apologize."
I'm sure it will be fine. And sort of look away for a moment.
"Might I join you for a moment?"
Of course.
He takes a seat at the table with you. "Sorry, my feet don't serve me as well as they were used to. I've already been working for a few hours this morning. I need a moment to sit."
Oh, it's no mind to me. Looks like a bit early yet. I'm assuming there's not many people down.
No, not too often. This early, especially not the morning after rain over. I would imagine many in the city will be slow to start this morning. You travel with my daughter.
I'll nod. I do. She's quite the warrior.
She is like her mother, then. That is well. She would not have done so well to take after me. I was a little gentle for our people, I think.
I just sort of look down at the tattoos. I understand what it's like to not quite fit where you're supposed to.
Forgive me my ignorance. I know only bits and pieces. Your people are assigned what you will do in life, yes? That's what those tattoos represent?
Yes. The other Uruk with us, that's one of my daughters. And that's what most of our folks look like.
Yes, I've seen many come through with tattoos like yours. Well, not like yours. Yours are mostly spider webs, but like hers, certainly.
A happy accident of our travels.
Indeed. I think I would have a difficult time being told what I am to do with my life. And yet, there would be a comfort in it. Not having to worry about getting it wrong.
There are many in the desert who feel that way.
You said
Not
the other
me
one.
though.
Well, then perhaps we are cut from the same cloth, as it were. My disagreement with how things were meant to be done led to my attempted murder and exile from the tribe. But you say
Shockingly similar stories.
Then-
A sort of like joking smile.
then you did not grow up with your daughter either.
No, I left over a decade ago. That's been a source of friction between us.
I could only imagine. Well, perhaps I have some idea. That is,
Smile back at her. It's hard.
it is. It's a difficult line to walk. Because if I speak to Caldana and I am too assuming that I want to have a relationship with her or that I want to be part of her life, she might rightfully ask what gives me the right to ask that when I wasn't there. On the other hand, if I seem too distant and too uninterested in doing so, I might appear as if I don't care or don't want her in my life.
Just sort of slow nodding along with everything.
Well, I'm certain you will find the proper balance to strike.
I've been trying. She seems a lot angrier than Caldana does. Or rather, angrier at me.
She wears her emotions just as she does her tattoos upon her flesh. But that may be a good thing. Between anger and apathy, anger is a better sign, I think.
Perhaps. It's certainly more of a storm to weather.
It is. But I think in time, when she sees that you're not going to just abandon her again, perhaps that anger will turn to something else. Whereas if she were apathetic and if she did not care, there's nowhere to go with that.
All I can do is keep trying and see if let it fall where it may.
Cast your dice where they may, as it were. I understand you are attempting to get across the Thorn Mountain Range.
Yes.
Well, the easiest way to, well, at least find out where to go would be to make your way to Dawnside. From there, you could work your way up towards the exclusion zone. I don't know if you'll find a way through there, but you may. If you wish to go to Dawnside, I took the liberty of purchasing you all passage aboard a ship. It will...
Blink in shock. Really?
I would not dare to try and say it is paying Caldana back for not being there. But if it is one small thing that I can do to help, I am more than happy to. The ships are all very busy at the time. As Rainover is ending, many people will be leaving, going back to where they came from. But I was able to snag 6 seats aboard a ship.
Well, thank you. I don't know what to say. That's very generous, not... Thank you.
Takes out 6 tickets from her top and sets them on the table for you. You can thank me by watching over my daughter. Keep her safe.
I do my best.
Thank you. And she will stand up and tap your shoulder before heading back on over to resume work in the morning. Not long after that, before you all make your way down, Falah also comes down. She stayed here last night as well. And she seems to be in a decent mood this morning. She doesn't have her usual grumble face on that she usually does in the morning. Perhaps she didn't. Perhaps she wasn't visited by Sanguine Moon in her sleep as she normally is. But yeah, goes and she sits down next to you, Brooks.
I'll sort of push over what's left of the breakfast that I was given.
She starts to eat and doesn't say a word about it, but she just she does start to eat.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. How, you're better this morning.
Yeah, I slept fairly well last night, actually.
Well, that's good. Have you given much thought to how we'll proceed? And I'll pull out and sort of show her the tickets. It seems at least a method of transport has been provided.
Well, I'd say it has its advantages. Faster, for one, get us there quicker. And in the worst case scenario, that one of us takes up the sword and is possessed by it, well, there's really nowhere to go. They'll just drown. The sword can go to the bottom of the lake for the time being.
Okay. And I'm just silent for a moment. What about after?
After we reach Dawnside?
After all of it. When we come back.
If we come back.
And just sort of give a little smile.
I'm not stupid, Mother. I know that, well, this may well be a one-way trip for us. She seems to actually catch yourself in surprise that she called you mother. She shakes her head. I guess I don't know. I guess take up the fight against Scala and hope we win. I don't know after that.
Did I tell you that your sister joined the army?
Did she? I never
One of the-
pictured her for a soldier.
One of the first.
He kind of smiles at that. Well, a little discipline could do her good. He gives that same kind of half smirk back at you at that. You all make your way down eventually, joining for breakfast. Breakfast is provided for you. A meal of eggs, bacon, and kind of a ground, like a ground lamb and potato.
Wow.
That
Okay.
sounds amazing.
Lamb hash? Hell yeah.
Delta's a dwarf, so she's bacon.
Correct.
And I will then give the news about the boat to everybody else as well.
That would certainly make things faster. And, well, can't say whether it's safer or not, but at least, well, so things have to cross not ocean. Well, things will have to cross the lake to get to us.
Good as anything else. I say we set
Yeah.
off sooner rather than later.
Indeed. I'll make sure to.
Time does seem something of a factor.
The tickets that you're holding say that the ship departs at 9 a.m. Right now, it's probably
I'll tap
7:30.
that, presumably having seen that.
Yeah, you would know. It's probably around 7:30 now. You have time to eat and chat for a little bit, but you can't take too long.
I'll make sure to send word to ex-Inquisitor Sunvale. Or what time he yourself with that one.
Especially because you have visual now.
That's a problem. Wake him up if he's
Problem.
just thinking. We'll wait till 8. That's a safe time. Most people wake up at 8 a.m. Yes. Normal time.
I would say that
That's the rules for calls at work. No calls before 8 a.m. local time.
I would say that your knowledge so far of Inquisitor Sunvale would suggest that he gets up fairly early in the day. He strikes you as the type.
Seems like an early bird.
Yeah.
Well, I will. Once we are finished here, I will take any news. Any news that any of you wish to share besides the basics?
No? I think just that we're on our way and
An update on our travels seems all that I have.
He gets you can already see she has begun a list. I'm going to say these as quickly as possible so that what happened last time does not happen again.
A wise strategy.
I'm just looking at Rialto with
If
those
you
eyes.
Something you want me to pass along? Giving me a look. People look like that, they want to say something.
Oh no, I'm just looking, just thinking.
if you have the room, the time, can you ask about Saria?
Yes. Sorry, out of character, I thought you said Sarai, and I was like, why?
Blame your wife.
I know.
This is only like the 8th time we've complained about this.
Yeah, I've
daughter.
only had to name like 80 NPCs this game. I'm sorry, 2 of them sound kind of similar.
It's not that they
use
sound
more
kind of
charms.
similar. It's that they're really they're both highly relevant NPCs.
It's
Yeah.
okay. At least we don't have like 2 leaders who are named the matriarch. Not to be confused by with the goddess, the matriarch.
We fixed it.
You
It's
know what?
fine.
You know what? I take it back. I'm looking forward to hurting you all tonight.
All right.
do.
I mean, the other option is that I also become Caldana's mom, I guess.
And then she calls you matriarch.
Your daughter calls me matriarch too.
Oh my god.
I love it.
Oh no,
All
I
right.
can
That's
see
definitely
that
the name of
statement
porno.
happening later.
So, all right. So Rialto wants to reach out to Martine.
Yes.
And does anyone else have any conversations they want to do before we leave Lockheed's Landing?
I have one. Yeah.
Yeah, I presume you want to talk to Ara before you go.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
Ara.
Let's start with that. Actually, we'll start with having you talk to Ara. It's easy enough. She knows you're leaving that morning, and she wants to have a moment with you as well. So you're able to go aside to a private corner of the area and talk for a moment. She nods. Well, this has been a surprise, a good one.
Aldana smiles. Definitely a good one.
I heard from Brooks that young Uruk over there is her daughter, and there's some similarities between us.
I think a lot more tension between those two, but
Well, indeed. I don't pretend that we were under the exact same circumstances, but, well, I'm happy that you're still okay with me being a part of your life.
I'm happy I found you again.
Now, I expect that you will come home to visit from time to time.
I will.
I expect I will get to meet this Soraya in the future.
That's the plan.
And I expect that you will complete your mission admirably.
Don't really have a choice.
You do have a choice. However, one of them I will be most displeased with.
Not really a choice then, is it?
Smiles at that. Remember some things.
I did want to mention before I go, and this is nothing against you, but calling myself Ara's daughter, it would lead her straight back to you, and I can't do that.
Well, your name was announced in the Squares of Stone's Throw, to my understanding. But I do understand. You were born Haldana Aristotter. I was very proud the day that I named you that. But you were not raised by me. I wasn't a mother to you for most of your life. Take whatever name you feel is best, and I will proudly call you that, and I will still proudly call you my daughter.
When this is all over, I might go back to it, but
Then I hope I have earned such a thing.
gonna give her mom a hug.
Hugs her back in return. Nods. Be safe then, Haldana.
I'll be as safe as I can be.
Good. You leave. Meanwhile, Rialta, you wish to use the sending stone.
Yep, I go back to my room, and I have a list.
Yep.
It has 4 items on it.
Excellent.
And she's going to go lay on the bed, and she's going to think, I wonder if my clothes come with me. I wonder if I can carry objects with me. So she really hopes the list comes with her.
Fair enough.
And then she's going to use the sending
You do.
and go splat on the bed.
You use the sending stone and concentrate on Martine Sunvale. You appear in a room. Not a room you recognize. You haven't been in this one before. It has a stone floor, unlike the many carpeted floors that you were in before. This one has a stone floor to it, and the walls are quite plain in here. It's too clean to be a jail cell, so it doesn't quite look like that, but it reminds you of one. You're happy to see that your list has indeed come with you.
Oh, good.
And you hear a small squeak and a splash as Martine looks over at you exiting the bath. And he freaks out and jumps back into the water. Ah! Okay. Hello?
My apologies! She immediately turns around. Timing was made incorrectly. My apologies. I will make sure to get timing correctly next time.
Yes.
I'm facing the wall. I have a list to go through. We only have 3 minutes. I will not turn around.
Okay. Very well. Go ahead.
All right. Number 1, we have found useful artifacts in Lockheed's Rest. That was a good point to go into. We are good to go. Number 2, we are planning to take a boat through the Sundered Blue to get to our destination. Number 3, a person named Kelsey, who is a Diaceneal but has mechanical parts like she's a Dianaduir but has Diaceneal parts. Anyway, she's young but she's very brilliant. She and I came up with a recipe to create a gel, an old-fashioned gel that I believe will help with Dread Demon Scars. And number 4, Brooks would wish to know how her daughter Soraya is doing.
He's like literally doing like the math meme of just like trying to catch up. I'm glad it helped at Lockheed's Rest. He puts his hands back down.
She's turned around. She's not looking.
He's not taking any chances. Sorry, I forgot the second one.
The boat. We're taking a boat.
Boat across Thunder Blue.
Yes.
Excellent. I've heard it's it was in Moon Bay recently, I think.
What was in Moon Bay?
The boat. It was there. The ferry. It was in Moon Bay recently. But
okay. Well.
Kelsey, you said her name is?
Yes.
And
Kelsey.
she's a Dia.
She's a
Anandweir that looks like a Dia Asenil.
That's correct. She's young. She has a tattoo like us, but she's not with us. It's kind of confusing.
And Saria is doing well. Actually, she's been made a lieutenant.
Oh, okay.
And she is instructing young mages, well, not young mages, but recruits in combat magic.
Excellent.
Yeah. How are you? I hope everything's well.
We were part of a match and we defeated a Telich. I was the last one standing. That was interesting.
What? A Teal, and then it cuts, and you're sent back.
I didn't get any information from
Yoink.
she wakes up like she blue screens for a moment.
You're to make a perception check for me.
21.
You only caught a quick look. But if you were concerned that maybe Martine wouldn't be able to live up, don't worry. You're good.
You get to see his mage's tower.
Yeah, you got to see his arcane focus.
You know I get away with this because we're married.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my god. All right. Well, she's by the time she comes downstairs, she's still not there basically, and just seems very more out of it than usual. But she'll go downstairs and she will wait for everybody else.
Not long before you've all regathered. Rialta looks different. She doesn't look better or worse. She just looks different.
She looks like she's become a woman.
Caldana looks better. Brooks looks pretty good. Ferris looks better than he did yesterday. Melody, she's Melody. Rialta looks different.
Hey.
Lana's gonna look at her. Why are you more red than me?
Huh? What? Oh, sorry. Nothing. Your daughter's a lieutenant, Brooks. You would be happy to hear that. She is a lieutenant over young mages.
Is that why you're red?
That her daughter is a lieutenant for the mages? No. My
Why are you red?
face is just very hot right now.
I mean, I suppose Stone's Throw is further north. It's a bit more temperate. I mean, in
There's-
this season, I just don't see.
I
Just start grinning at Rialta.
Yeah,
I
same.
may have picked the wrong time to I didn't pick a good time to visit. What time was it just now? I need to know to do at least.
Wait, we're pitching tents?
What?
It was about 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, 8 in the morning.
What did you just say, Mal?
You said what about pitching tents?
I didn't.
No,
say
I-
That's
anything
what I thought. Holy
Yeah.
cow.
Wait, he was in a tent? I thought he was.
No, he was.
I thought we were going by boat. Now I'm confused.
We are going by boat. Water.
Right.
There was a lot of water.
So why would we need to pitch tents on the boat?
We don't.
I agree.
Need
That
to do
doesn't really
anything
make any sense.
About. Oh.
How
Uh,
big is this tent going to be if it's going to fit everyone?
I'll,
We don't have
um,
Pretty
nearly a
big
tent that
tent.
big.
I mean, there's 6 of
I'll-
us.
Oh well, if we use the main mast, we might be able to get something large enough, but it's going to have to be a very large mast.
Rialta, at the mention of a large mast, no.
Roll a charisma saving throw.
You're pretty
Uh,
sturdy too.
My.
What do
Melody,
you mean
you
by ahoy?
Melody,
What
take an
is-
inspiration from Heartslot, and Tilly, thank you for the $20 tip. You can distribute 4 inspirations.
Whew. That was not expected today. I'll tell you why. All right. Well, anyway, Rels will just clear her throat and go. I was able to deliver the information. That is.
Did he have any relevant reports for us?
Only that Brooks, your daughter, is currently a lieutenant.
As you mentioned already.
Right.
Anything
Do
else?
you
That was.
do you
only
need a moment to compose yourself?
There is nothing more to add. I will feel much better once we are at sea, I think.
I don't understand what you all talk about. You have an entire 3 minutes to do it. Should one of us go with you next time? I just feel like maybe it's a lot of pressure for you to do
I
on
think
your
it
own.
was for the best that no one was there this time. Even I should not have been there this time. I'm still trying to figure out the timing of I forgot to ask what time.
I will definitely lean over to Varys and whisper, I'm guessing she caught him in a sensitive moment.
Sensitive. Ah.
Well, let me tell you something, Aldana.
Hmm?
Your mom can really cook. Nothing can beat this meat. It's so tender.
Oh, Melody.
I think I'm. Did I pack my
Oh,
stuff?
and we said that thing about the mast.
You're all hilarious.
Ah.
Brooks is
Aldana is
definitely
just
doing her
grinning
best to hold.
unrepentantly.
Well,
And-
it sounds like he did the elves proud. Should we get going to the boat?
I think that would be lovely.
Excellent. You all depart the broken line. Unfortunately, it's not far to the harbor. In fact, it's out the door. Oh. In the harbor of Lockheed's Landing, a ship sits moored at the longest pier. It is a sizable passenger vessel, too small for cargo, but certainly larger than the kind of ships you've seen running the riverways around Terracin. It reminds you of some of the ships you saw in Moon Bay, the larger vessels that troll the deep waters of the bay and the ocean along the Twilight Coast. The ship carries white sails with the symbol of Lockheed's Landing, a woman floating above a shoreline with one foot touching down on the beach, on a flag just above the sails. On the front of the ship, there is a woman with the tail of a fish carved into the front, reaching out for a carving of the moon, and embossed on the side of the ship are the words Ruby Eclipse. Near the midsection of the ship, there are two gangways, one with people carrying things up, and the other with people going down as passengers arrive while those departing board. Interestingly, almost all of the arriving passengers are elves, and many of them bear looks of uncertainty. On the main deck of the ship, you see a number of deckhands cleaning and conducting minor repairs on the ship. Some seem to be painting over the wood with a lacquer substance. To your left, there is a large hatch that is open and leads down into the ship's interior. To your right, there is a raised platform with stairs where the captain's wheel sits. A tiefling woman wearing a blue coat and gray breeches with black boots is standing at a table next to it, speaking with an Uruk man as they look over a map. Directly ahead, you can see a human man in his 40s taking people's tickets and pointing them towards the hatch. His outfit is a little confused, as the clothes are mostly sailor's garb, but he wears a fine red vest over the shirt. As you approach, he nods courteously. Welcome aboard the Ruby Eclipse. Tickets, please.
I will hand them over, because presumably I'm still holding them.
For the best.
You are indeed. So he takes the 6 tickets and...
Especially if Rialta's still troubled.
You're lucky she's even got her journals.
I believe the
Definitely
term is
just-
charmed.
Shooing Rialta along, making sure she doesn't forget things.
Failed that wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, indeed. So you hand over the 6 tickets, and he seems to look through them, nods, checking their authenticity. Well, welcome aboard. It's a 7 days journey up to Dawnside, but your meals will be provided twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. You have run of most of the ship, save for just right up here, and he motions up towards the captain's quarters and the steering wheel are. Outside of that, the only place you can't go is the bottom floor, which is the storage areas. Outside of that, you're free to use the galley as you like. You'll each have your own rooms on the second floor, straight one floor directly below this. You'll be in rooms 15 through 20. Outside of that, if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to come find me. My name is Gregory Tanner.
Thank you, Captain Tanner.
Thank you.
Oh, no. I am just the ship's steward. Captain's, she be right up there, and he points up at the tiefling woman. He says, that's Captain Reyes Goldbrighter, and she is in charge of this ship. Don't let her hear you say what I just said, or that you think I'm the captain. That won't go well for me.
Is his name Stewart or Tanner? I'm confused.
Steward is a title. Like captain is a title, steward is
Like
a title.
sir.
Yes, I am the
I
steward
see.
of the ship.
All right. Well, thank you, Sir Stewart Tanner.
Indeed. Feel free to head on down and get yourselves acquainted with your rooms. We'll be setting sail here in about 20 minutes.
I should find
Do you all head down to your rooms then?
May as well.
Yeah.
All right.
I will store the sword in there.
Indeed, you're able to find a place to do so. I'm sorry, I'm just finding the descriptions of the place. The floor directly below the main deck is full of passenger rooms. The rooms are quite small, as there are 30 of them crammed onto this floor, 20 for passengers and 10 for the crew of the ship. Each party member has been given their own room, and the room consists of a cot, a large ceramic pan to serve as a wash basin, a chamber pot, and a small desk with a chair. There is also a porthole with a wooden shutter over it on this floor.
Did not know that boats had holes in the side of them. That seems counterintuitive, but all right.
Notably, the shutter over it can seal and latch, so seems important.
It probably is, but I doubt Varys has noticed that.
Fair enough.
I will point out the whole thing with Falah and the sword and everything, and basically diegetically suggest we rotate who has it.
I believe that would be.
Well, I can secure it for our first night. There are 7 nights, I believe, or maybe 6 nights in 7 days.
you've already had it for several.
Yes, you've had it for over a week now.
Maybe trade off for.
Too wise.
Constitution.
On.
I suppose, yes. If
Very
you
well.
think that's best, I
Who
look at the box.
is up to the task? Or
I'll give it a
feeling
shot.
up to the task?
Bala puts her hand up.
You've had it longer than I have.
We'll get back around to you in time.
He shrugs. All right, so Tilly's tipped another $5 and has said 1 inspiration to each party member.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah!
All right. Who's got? I have a +3 to con. Who else has a D?
You have a +3 to con? Oh, for your total save or for your
Yes.
just your modifier?
Total save and modifier. I don't get a con.
My
You have
save
what
is
is your con?
4.
16.
My con save is +6, by the way.
Yeah, I thought yours would be pretty good because
And
mine
you all
is
will get
+6
the
as well.
you'll all get the +6 bonus as well for having the box at the runes.
Okay.
Well,
Varys was going to suggest Keldana purely on the basis that Keldana has faced the temptations of dread demons before.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put some
Keldana
names like
is
that.
actually gonna say, not the first time I've had a demon in my head trying to convince me of shit.
Well, we will leave it into your
That is
capable
both amusing
hands.
and terrifying.
I will
and
keep the
Keldana
key as always.
Makes sense.
Except for when you are the one.
Obviously, I will then announce.
Yes. I'll rotate the key and the box.
Very well. So it's not long after that when the ship puts out to sail. You are the weather is quite nice, especially on this first day. The seas are quite calm, or the lakes, I should say, but it is a massive lake. And you depart from Lockheed's Landing on your way out towards Dawnside.
Callie, would you say it's a Great Lake?
I would say it is indeed a great lake.
Is it eerie?
Might even say it's superior.
I would say it's superior.
I see.
This lake got an ego.
It
Is
does
it-
indeed.
Is it on Terrio?
So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the various parts of the ship. The galley is on the lowest accessible level, just below
Where's
the
the
floor
poop
you're
deck?
on now. Only the storage areas beneath that. Here there are
Poop
5
deck.
wooden tables and 10 benches for eating. Food is served through a window in the wall that leads back into the kitchen, and meals are served in the morning and in the evening. The room is illuminated by glowing crystals that are mounted against the wall, and the creaking of the ship is very loud in this particular room. Up on the main deck, it's an exceptionally busy place, as it is both the main point of recreation and where much of the work is done aboard the ship. The front half of the ship has been sectioned off by rope for the passengers, while the back half and the upper level are restricted to the crew only. On this front section, there are some chairs put out for relaxing, a few sparring dummies, and a device that seems to launch small clay discs out to sea.
Also, maybe change it over for the folks watching.
Oh, just so they can see, yeah.
The clay discs?
Yes. Do you go over and check them out?
Yes.
So you make your way over to, it's a machine. First of all, it's a machine, which is an interesting thing to see. It definitely looks as though you have seen, when you were in Lockheed's Landing and also in Moon Bay, you saw trebuchets, these wooden devices that would basically catapult an object a long distance. This is a similar thing, although it's made from metal and is on a much smaller scale. A small clay disc is loaded into a cloth part, and then it looks like the machine would then spin and launch the disc outwards.
What is it called?
The machine?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Who is anyone around?
I mean, the steward is walking around. There's random crew.
His name is Tanner, remember? Steward is his title.
Steward Tanner. What is
Oh.
this for?
So we run an archery tournament on these trips. Third day of the voyage. Although you could use it any time you wished. It's a miniaturized catapult. It will launch those out to sea, and you would try to shoot one out of the air with an arrow. It's just a little something for fun we like to have on here, so people don't get too bored at sea.
That is quite amusing.
Good idea.
Yes, it's something the gnomes actually made.
Is anyone else a passenger on?
Oh, yes. It's not just you. There are, we take 20 passengers at any given time, so minus your 6, there'd be 14 others. And indeed, you do see people milling around, mostly humans, but a couple of, an elf or two. You also see the Uruk man that was up talking to the captain before. You even see a couple of forge dwarves on here, but like I say, mostly humans. Not that I don't like song, but a little loud. What would y'all like to do?
Now, do they have bows or crossbows for loan, or?
Oh, indeed. If you choose to participate, or you just like to practice, of course, you absolutely could use. We have bows that we could loan you.
Oh, great.
Just have to pay for the arrows, as they're not very easy to retrieve.
Oh, I have mine.
Because they go in the water.
Indeed.
I have my bow, and she kind of taps the loot.
Yes, well, I certainly wouldn't want to. You wouldn't want an amateur like me, Melody, handling something like that. I know how to use a bow, but I am a bit clumsy in the fingers. Where did my sword go?
Something you'd probably want to hang on to, sir.
Sorry, dropped
I
it.
haven't used a bow in a while. I could use a practice shot or two.
Yes, well, before Melody completely shows us up, then, Brux, why don't you and I have a friendly little competition, amateur to amateur?
Give him a big old smile. Certainly.
You both brought, you each brought a bow and a set of 5 arrows. Now, the way this works is we'll launch 5 of these clay discs, one at a time, and your goal is to hit as many of them as you can. Easy enough?
Easy enough.
Nod.
Easy in practice, easy in theory, less so in practice, I assure you. And you hear him signal launch, and he pulls a small chain cord, and as he does, this thing indeed spins once and hurls this clay disc flying out at incredible speeds out and towards the water. You may both make a attack with a short bow, effectively. So it'd be your if you're proficient in short bows, it's Dex plus proficiency. If you're not, just your Dex modifier.
Yeah, I be proficient. I roll attack.
I
now.
presume I am. I'm
You're a
proficient in
you're a
both
fighter.
You're a
martial-
fighter. You definitely are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
martial
definitely
and-
are.
I was trying to like double check, but it's like, nah, you don't need to know what these count as.
No, you're good.
You said Dex plus proficiency.
Proficiency.
Yep, Dex plus proficiency.
I don't know why it was so hard for me to say that. Double check, and I was like, I know that. I think I'm a.
That is
good
a
with all
20 total.
All right. I guess I'll just make a Dex check and then add my proficiency to it, which is 3. 19.
19. You both loosed your arrows, and you're both quite a good shot, actually. Cerberus, yours just barely whizzes by it, skirting under the bottom side of it, but doesn't make contact. Brux, yours does hit, as you see the clay disc just shatter as your arrow connects. And the man looks at you, the steward does. Not bad, especially for a first time. Most people are at least caught off guard on the first go around. Indeed, it is a 20 to hit
Just
these.
be beginner's luck.
I'm certain. Might have if not, we might have a new champion in the making. And he launches the second one. Go ahead and make a same check.
That one's an
7.
18 for me.
17.
This time, both your arrows just whiz by out to
Jesus.
sea. It is they have a 20 AC.
All right.
Not
No,
easy to
I
hit.
was more amused at the I keep outrolling Rob by
Yeah,
one.
by
Oh,
one
got it.
exactly every
Got it.
time.
And he pulls one more for you and launches it.
I got an 8.
12. We broke this pattern.
You have this one. As the thing launches out and starts flying across over the water, Varys, you kind of at the last minute tip your arrow down a little bit, and it just kind of shoots straight down towards the water. And Brux, likewise, you shoot yours, and it's on the correct kind of trajectory, but the wind just picks it up and blows it off to the distance.
I'll just sort of shrug back at the steward. See?
Yeah, he nods. Well, I'll tell you, so in the competition, you get to shoot 5 times. The most we've ever had is 3. That was a number of years ago. We had a archer come through who was quite good. Was able to hit 3 of them.
That won't be me today, but thank you, sir. That was fun enough. Brux, you are the winner. Congratulations.
Pure chance.
Well, pure chance and luck are both grand allies in war. Let's hope you bring some of that with us. In the meantime, I'd be happy to treat you to a drink for your winnings.
Give him a big old grin. That sounds delightful.
Yeah, Thank you, Steward Tanner.
But of course.
Esquire.
Indeed. And I look forward to the competition.
It should be a good time. It always is. If you're hungry or wish for something to drink, the galley is 2 floors down. Enjoy yourself.
Well, we'll head there then, I think.
Yeah.
Pardon
do.
me.
Oh, yes, miss.
Do you guys happen to have like a sea shanty? I know that you guys say that doesn't really. It's not really. That's something that you do for fun and stuff. But like, I wondered if you guys also sang.
I would say that it is not too often that the crew does much singing. Perhaps sometimes over drinks there'll be a song that'll be enjoyed. Some people do tend to perform down in the galley in the evening.
Oh, may I?
But of course, ma'am.
Inspiration is trapped.
Here, Rhea runs a tight ship. Yeah, that's her. But yeah, absolutely, you can perform this evening if you like.
Okay. I'm gonna write down a song.
Okay. So you head on down to the galley. Indeed, it is a relatively humble room, although much larger than many of the other rooms on the ship, as it does need to be able to seat a number of people, 30. Down there, you can see 2 holes in the wall. Both of them are probably about 3 feet across and 2 feet high. They're each of them about 3 feet off the ground. 4 feet off the ground, I should say. And it seems to lead through back into a kitchen area. In one of them, there is someone who is serving drinks, and in the other, you see plates of food occasionally being put up as someone goes over and takes their plate and goes to sit down.
Oh.
Find a table?
Yeah, absolutely. There are a number of tables in here. I think I said there's 5 tables in here. One of them is currently completely unoccupied if you want a table to yourself.
We'll grab a table and I'll grab a drink for Brux and I.
Well, I'm just gonna bill you for everything that you spend on this trip at the end, so so we don't have to keep doing it.
Okay.
Do you need the room number?
Yeah, exactly. I need the room number. Thank you. I'll bill it to your room.
Perfect.
Blah also grabs a drink for herself.
I'll grab a drink.
All right. And
You know what?
mhm.
Delta better.
All right. Everyone grabs a drink. Melody, I presume you are writing.
Yee.
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh boy. There is a human who is at the bar window, and he does indeed serve you up each a drink. The options are limited, as you would expect them to be on here. What you do notice, however, is that the food smells incredible. You would have expected. Well, I mean, I don't know if you. None of you. I don't presume any of you have spent a lot of time at sea.
This is the first time Melody has even seen the sea.
Yeah, I had a feeling most of you have probably not been on a boat. Maybe Brooks.
First. No, she would have been pretty landbound.
Yeah, I like in Horizon's Coast, you might have been on a fishing boat every now and then, but like for the most part, not really.
Unless you've hidden a sea in the mountains and not told me about it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
no. Melody is actually probably the only one who may have been on a boat before.
But not like full on sea
Right.
boat.
But you wouldn't expect the food to be particularly good. Obviously, they can only bring things that will keep, and only so much. So you wouldn't expect the food to be good. But that's not what your nose is telling you in here. It certainly smells good.
Well, the meals will be stew.
This is quite a nice ship with individual rooms on it as well. I have to say, we have been gifted quite the tickets.
Melody
Yeah,
kind of like lets the smell waft, and she goes,
They use star anise.
What do you say?
They use star anise.
They do. Actually, they use a number of spices.
Who is Star? Or are you saying it's Caldana's niece? You have family
No,
on this ship?
No, it's like a spice that you put in the thing to make it smell
yes.
and taste nice.
Star anise. Spice.
Like ground acorns?
Yes.
What kind of? I don't. Huh?
Yes, that's exactly right, sir.
Oh.
Like ground egg.
That sounds delightful.
Callie, quick question. Rhea doesn't have blue hair, right?
Rhea? No,
Yeah,
she does not. She has
okay.
black hair.
That's what I thought. But she's just gonna look at Varys. If she had blue hair, I might grant you that one.
Yes. How many do you wait? Are you telling me there are more family we're going to run into? How big is your family? How many more revelations are we going to have on this trip?
I don't know. I thought my mother was dead.
Fair enough.
I will definitely say probably at least one more, I would expect.
Suppose that's fair.
We've been encountering them.
Well,
Stacked up like dominoes.
Unless there is more surprise family that I am unaware of, I at least know for sure that my father is actually dead, so rising up.
Somebody
meant to
made
be.
sure of that.
But you.
Confirmed
So-
kill.
So I guess me and Rialta are the only people in the group that haven't met family.
To be fair,
We met her aunt.
my aunt in Stone's Throw. I just didn't know she.
Oh. Well.
I imagine we'll run into some of yours then. Seems to be the way of things.
Dude.
Drink.
Fates are that way.
Yeah, on radio, a family certainly thought so.
I think it's for the best that doesn't happen.
Oh. I doubt that's true, Melody, and besides, it seems like none of us are getting out of it, regardless of whether that would be true or not.
What?
And besides, and I'll sort of glance over at Flaw, I certainly am glad to have the chance to reunite.
Blah. Make a perception check.
Allah, make a perception check?
No.
Oh.
Brock, sorry. Make a perception check.
Okay.
We're using that inspo. I just got to re-roll that one.
Amen.
Much better. What's my bonus though? 16.
Blah very quickly takes a drink to cover her face, but you catch the blush.
Is there a reason you don't wish to see your family, Melody? Been talking about trying to find your way home.
Melody kind of like looks down at the food and just kind of like plays around with it. Uncharacteristically quiet of her. And she kind of goes,
Well, I kind of. I don't know what I'd do if we ran into family. My family, rather.
There's something you have to do?
No, I'm.
and and she kind of like trails off at that. And the body language that she seems to like exude at the moment is one that is like a kid who got caught with their hand in the cookie jar kind of thing. And like for the rest of the meal, she's gonna keep to herself.
Well, to a good journey then, and may we arrive safely and quickly at our destination, which is where exactly? We're heading into some blasted land before we get to the mountains, if I understand it.
Correct? I forgot the name.
Dawnside is the city you are going to.
Dawnside.
Yep.
May our journey be boring.
Yes.
Dawnside is right here on the northern side of the Sundered Blue.
Okay, and
That
then
is
we
where you
gotta
are currently heading.
go up.
Yes.
Well, I
Oh,
expect we
that
won't
map
have long.
is outdated as shit.
I expect we won't have long to tarry, or to
Not the
marry,
one.
depending on who you're talking to. After we get to the town, I suspect it will be quite the march to make it to the exclusion zone, and then to the mountains soon after.
Right. Agreed. Been. Well, have been. We had our reign over celebration, but well, want to make sure.
Blah speaks up. My aunt in Dawnside may be able to tell us a bit about the exclusion zone, and that there's no severed hand organized activity up beyond Dawnside. They don't operate in Savior's Cradle, so she's about as far north as you can go in my company's territory. My family's company's territory, anyway.
Well,
But hopefully she'll be able to tell us a little bit and maybe have an idea at least of how to approach getting through the mountains.
Could be a good idea. We'll gather information.
for any help we can find.
Yes. As long as we do not linger over long. We'll take what we can get. At the end of the day, we know what we have to do. Regardless of how we get there.
Depending on what time of day we get in, we may want to stay the night anyways.
Right. We will. It won't do us any good to be running ragged, especially with some. Run ragged, it will strike. Certain.
It strikes regardless. Every
It
night.
does.
And
Well, nods at that.
is given our eventual destination, we may want to get some extra supplies.
Dawnside is a relatively small town compared to Lockheed's Landing. I spent some time there when I was training. We'll be able to get supplies that we need. The people there are I don't care for Dawnside.
All the more reason to move through it quickly once we have the information we need.
Agreed.
What about the exclusion zone? Anything you've overheard from your family's company regarding that? The only thing I know is that it's nearly a blasted wasteland, and that rather don't go in because you're unlikely to come out.
You know the stories that I was told? Oh, supposedly, hundreds of years ago, it was the site where the Terrasin resistance, during Scala's war, made their last stand. Supposedly they were all but obliterated at that spot, but in truth, many of them slipped through the mountains and made it over to the other side of the Soren mountain range and reorganized there. But it would be 20 years before they came back. Nevertheless, Scala renamed the area Disobedience and proclaimed that no one would ever walk that land again. As far as we can tell, 800 years later, he is stuck to that promise. The land is still uninhabitable. Most that go in there do die, and supposedly their bodies continue to walk.
Well, something's walking then. But
Indeed.
I suppose a creature known for its lies. I shouldn't be surprised that it wasn't exact. Caldana, what of your people? Have they mapped anything detailed of the Soren mountain range, specifically near the furnace? Do you know anything of there? Remember anything?
No, is the
Yeah, I was
answer.
gonna say,
Wrong mountain range.
but from the mountains to the
The
south,
s-
the
yeah,
Soren.
the Soren's on the west.
Certainly.
Melody's
Right.
people may have, however.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
we
Dragonborn
don't.
are
No,
from the
makes
Soren mountain
sense.
range.
Somewhat of a long shot, but with the like studying I've done, would I have done like come across anything?
Make a history check for me.
No, I have not. That's 5.
I'll tell you what you do know, and no questions though. The Uruk regard the Soren mountain range as, well, if you were to punish someone, you would send them to the Soren mountain range. Your mortal enemies live there. Since time immemorial, the Uruk and the Dragonborn have been natural enemies. You, as an Uruk, were given life to bring your older sister to heal. And it is your duty and designation, just as it was Uruk's in life, to continue to keep the Dragonborn in check these days. The Soren mountain range is home to the many Dragonborn on Terrasin. They don't typically leave for very many reasons. It's not unheard of to see a Dragonborn outside of the Soren mountain range, with your own Melody being proof of that. But it is uncommon. Most do not ever venture outside the mountain range. That is where they make their home. There, some Uruk believe that there is a Dragonborn settlement on the west side of the Soren mountain range, but no one's ever been able to prove that, and it might just be a story they use to scare kids with.
Melody, have you ever heard stories about the furnace? Is it
No,
known?
I didn't. What? Who told you that?
The furnace. I know it's not specifically tied to the Soren
Eyebrow.
mountain range, but I didn't know if your people had any knowledge of the area around it.
Would you like to
I'm
make a
gonna
history check, Melody?
Can I make a deception check to make it seem like I've never heard of, like, feign ignorance, basically?
How about you make a history check first so I can tell you if you have even heard of it, if you need to
Okay.
feign ignorance.
Because you might just be
Yes.
ignorant.
Yes, you have.
It turns out you're an expert.
Yeah, it turns out you're our only
No,
expert.
There are some things that you know. It is
You know there's a secret path that's completely safe.
So, you're from Farhome.
Would you say it's a secret tunnel through the mountain?
You are from Farhome, which is in the far south of the Soren mountain range. And yes, you do know of a path through, though not one that would be of particular use to your group. There is a path through the Soren mountain range that is, you have to go through the swamps near Ice Lock to enter up into the Soren mountain range, and it takes you through Farhome and out towards the sea. There's a couple problems with that. There is a large gate on the pass that you need to get by, and you cannot do so without a song that is you are required to know. Otherwise, the gates will not open. And also, it spits you out at the sea, not on the other side of the continent where you need to be. You have heard that up further, north in the Soren mountain range, there is an area that was long ago laid claim to by the Scarlet Dragonborn. And they supposedly there was at one time a path through the mountains there as well. You don't really know any details of it though. I will, if you wish, I will allow you a question that you may have an answer to for your 20.
Okay. Is there is there a route that non-dragonborn folk, just kind of like a general beaten path that I would not necessarily know, maybe remember, to just kind of like what do you call it, that's not necessarily common knowledge, I guess. I'm
Yeah.
trying. Hold on.
To get through the Soren mountain range?
Yes.
So, as I said, you have heard of a path that supposedly the Scarlet Dragonborn now roll. It was in one time called Boss's Walk, but you're not sure what they call it now. There is rumored to be, this is something you've actually overheard more recently. There is rumored to be a tunnel that leads under the mountain range, but you know very little of it.
Okay, and I guess, like, because of the proximity to the mountain range, would I know anything specific about the furnace?
What is the furnace? Where do we get the furnace from?
Scala's Wrath, I thought it was called the
Sorry,
furnace.
Scala's Wrath.
Furnace.
Okay.
It's a giant volcano, you know what I mean, calling it the furnace.
All right, Scala's Wrath. I would say no. The Ivory Dragonborn are a long way away from Scala's Wrath. And the way you'd have to go to get there is just mountain the whole way, which is not a huge issue for the Dragonborn, but you wouldn't really travel that far for no reason, especially because that would take you through the domains of the other Dragonborn.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say you know maybe a little bit more than what the party knows, but not a whole lot. Supposedly there's a large volcano off the Dawn Coast that was apparently at one time part of the continent, and now it is an island that separates two pieces of the continent. Supposedly it exploded a long time ago, and a lot of people died.
Okay. So, like, no personal story handed down.
I might say I would say that the Ivory Dragonborn that live on Terrasen would say that Scala's Wrath is one of the reasons that their people are needed.
Okay, and my path would have my personal path down from the Soren Mountain Range would have taken me like closer to like Mitras and Terran as opposed to like the exclusion zone, right?
You'd have gone. You'd have to travel through Ice Lock's swamp right here, and then you would enter like right there, go up to Farhome, and then it would spit out on the other side, like right here at a cove.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yes.
I would like to make that deception check now.
Sure. Roll your deception check.
16.
And roll insight.
Does anyone have a passive perception over 16?
Deception, yes.
Perception?
Or sorry, passive insight or passive.
No, it's 15.
All right, go ahead and make your insight checks.
13.
Rox, Caldana?
I don't think Caldana really has any reason to doubt what she's saying, so...
Yeah, I don't even know if, to be honest, if Varys would roll. I think he just.
What
accept
does
Yeah, I
what
guess
does
that's true.
Melody
What does she
say?
say?
Yeah. What is she actually saying?
Of whether I would even doubt it or not.
It's more along the lines of when you asked that, she immediately just blurted out like, "What? Who told you that? I've never been there. What?"
All right.
Someone needs to get
Everyone can
disadvantage.
make insight at at advantage.
Thank you.
I'll just roll a second one then.
Same. Are you kidding me?
All right, well, Fala caught it.
Thank you.
She-
Instead of Brooks.
She kind of raises an eyebrow. Huh. So that's a
Right.
yes then. Something to share with the group, Melody?
No.
She gives
That's
you
what-
a look.
That's what a yes looks like.
Melody, we are trying to save the world here. If you know something that could help us, we really do need to hear it.
Kid's right.
Just about passage through. You don't have to tell us about anything else.
Fair enough.
It's nothing definite. Just stuff I heard when I was a kid many years ago, and something about the conversation made me remember something about it. But
You remember?
it's not really stuff that I'm supposed to share.
I think
Yeah.
given the circumstances, I think an
Or to be
exception
paid.
might
And
be
an
made.
exception.
Well, no, that's the thing, because it's the entire reason. It's kind of the entire reason we're there. Because of that place.
I see. So this is so your way that you know through is actually way further south then.
Kind of. I can't really tell you a route because I don't really remember the route. There's something that I'm missing that would help, but
See.
Well, if you remember anything you can tell us, Melody, let us know. I
For now, it's enough.
understand the importance of keeping sacred oaths, especially of secrecy.
Well, for
we'll just
now,
have
it's
to
enough to
trust
know
her.
that there is a way.
Yeah, it's more than we had.
Legends are based off of sometimes a small kernel of. Lots of them.
Hopefully,
Growth,
my
change
aunt,
in the telling.
hopefully my aunt can provide us with a little more information then, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, we have to get across the sea first. We have plenty of time to try to think and remember. With
Several days. Yep.
whatever you're comfortable with sharing, Melody.
As much as you can.
that's all well and nice and all, but the entire reason, if I'm being honest, the entire reason I'm even out here was because I spent so long trying to get away from there.
Pardon me if I'm mistaken, but your home would be nowhere near where we're going, wouldn't it?
No, but it's the best way that I know of.
Well, you don't have
have-
to. Oh, sorry.
I have one component that would help. I've only heard rumors of the other, and they're and you know, Dragonborn are not really, the cooperative type with
Blah and
other.
Brux both nods sagely. Indeed, you have heard that.
Well, pardon me for intruding, but we're talking about Scala. Everyone had to cooperate.
No,
That's-
no, you don't understand. Even amongst the Dragonborn, the Ivory are peculiar. All those
Right.
stereotypes about Dragonborn are because of the other colors.
Well, as it is, we have no need of going to the home of the Ivory Dragonborn. I don't imagine we'll be going that far south for any particular reason. Crossing there would be difficult anyway. We would need a boat on the other side of the mountains there.
Agreed.
Yes. We're going very much away from that right now.
Dude.
Well,
Well, it sounds like our best bet right now then is the exclusion zone. If we can find another way, we'll consider it. But for now,
whether through the exclusion zone or not, we have to know what we do once we get to the mountains. But we have time to think on it, and, well, to be honest, there's always climbing.
there is that.
So, we'll get
Do,
through it one way or another.
Do any of you order a meal?
If it's
Oh.
mealtime, then
If it's
Yeah,
mealtime, I
just
know
say
we
what
only
time
get
is it?
two.
It is a meal time. It's getting to be the evening.
Okay.
All right, sure.
Okay then, yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? We're
Melody's
already
not-
here.
Melody's not really hungry, especially after that exchange. Partly because she kind of feels guilty. She's not able to like really help, even though this is totally within her purview of shit. And she's too busy writing a sea shanty.
I mean, I would say, to be clear, Mal, it's really not in Melody's purview. You guys are so far south of where you guys are going, you don't actually have very much information to give them. The only way you could tell them through the mountain, the one you're not allowed to say, actually wouldn't help them any. You could tell them that you've heard the rumors of the tunnel underneath. That might be helpful, but that would be up to you. Anyone who has dinner, it's a delightful lamb stew. Again, the ingredients really are nothing special, but it's seasoned perfectly and cooked perfectly. Anyone who eats tonight, please make a history check.
All right,
That's all it needs to be. You don't need fancy ingredients.
that's right.
Oh, now
Right.
I roll a 15.
It's right
Simple.
save. What the
Simple
hell?
and clean.
That's the way you're making me feel
Even though I'm
tonight.
trained in history, I get a 6. Kill me. Jesus.
Gotta love having proficiency and no intelligence modifier.
And no, into,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I got a 3 anyway. It wouldn't
Another
matter.
5.
I rolled 23.
Rialta,
Yes.
you've had this meal before.
Oh, where have I had it?
It's not
You had it-
lamb, it's people.
You had it in Moon Bay.
Oh.
You've had this exact meal before.
She kind of furrows her eyebrow as she kind of glances up to where the chef would, or the people making the meal would be.
Yeah, there's a window that leads
Yeah.
back into the kitchen.
She just kind of frowns. This meal reminds me of one we've had in Moon Bay.
It does, actually. The flavor is very similar. Moon
Wonder-
Bay's known for the exclusivity of its cuisine. That's somewhat unusual. Though, I guess it's famous. Could have
Oh.
traveled.
Oh, I'm a fool. Inquisitor Sunfield did mention that the boat we are on came from Moon Bay.
Hmm.
I
Wonder if the cook's from there too.
Right.
They might know something about what happened.
Indeed.
But it seems such a nice meal to bring up such dark memories for them.
Agreed. Well, this is the first day at sea. Perhaps, perhaps we'll be able to catch the chef another time to at least thank them.
Right.
You spend an evening together, and
So they have
Or-
a niece in this? Whose niece is in this?
Star anise. Spice.
you
Right.
spend a nice evening together, chit chat a little bit, and eventually all make your way off to bed.
Nothing like acorns.
Head to your rooms again. They're quite small. The stars out tonight are beyond gorgeous. Here out in the sea, where there is no light really anywhere, out in the darkness, looking up, the stars are maybe the best they've been for anyone who hasn't been to Mount Heaven's Reach.
Oh, I'm going stargazing.
You're gonna go stargazing?
Yeah.
You may go stargazing.
Right.
Mal also wants to be on deck. That's totally fine.
Varys would be
I-
stargazing too.
Yeah, I was gonna say also same.
And
Alright.
Brooks wants to chat with
I'll-
Varys, so
I'll stay below deck just to be different.
Okay.
I like that.
Excellent.
I like that. No, that's good. I like that.
Screw you guys.
you-
I got this
you
room.
hate
I'm
the
using
stars.
it.
You hate the stars. Matter of fact, you think the night sky is overrated.
as the sponsor of Talia.
You make your own night sky with hookers and blackjack.
You know what? Forget about the night sky.
And those
You know what? I
glow
don't
in the
need
dark,
this
and those little glow in the dark stars that you
Stars
put on your
that you
room.
stick up on
Yeah.
the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
What
90s
have stars
shit.
ever done for me? Only stars I care about are on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, yo.
Sarah, if you want to do your
My roll?
stargazing check, go ahead.
All right, guys, let's see. Will I roll a
Hashtag
17
DMZ.
or higher? I do not. I rolled
Oh.
17 total.
But that would be 17 or higher.
No, I need to roll. I need to make a 20, but because I
Oh,
add
but
my
with your
proficiency-
modifier, I see. I'm sorry. Okay.
I would say out here you can make it at advantage.
Advantage? All right, we'll see.
Stars are
Yep.
not usually this
Nope. Still didn't
Did
make it.
Fair enough.
17, 18, 19, 20 is not easy to roll.
clear. No, it's a 1 in 4 or 1 in 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
it's big. It's a big hit.
nope.
All right. So, but you do enjoy the view of the stars, and you think I'll watch again tomorrow night. Rox, do you want to chat with Varys?
Yeah.
You're able to find one another for a private moment.
Did I mute myself? Okay, no, there I am. I didn't look like I was coming through. Oh,
No, you're there. Hello.
Hi. Reminds me of what it looks like in the God's grasp.
Hmm.
There's no lights, no villages, towns. Just
The desert's not terribly different from here. No trees as well.
that must be quite a sight. What can I do for you?
Your daughter's interesting.
Oh. She's, more the sergeant's daughter than mine, I think. But, Kelsey is, a unique young woman. That's certainly true.
Would you say Falah's more Jesse's daughter than mine?
I wouldn't try to make that judgment. What do you think?
They can both be true. You have an opportunity here.
I had an opportunity, but I made a choice. It was a rather selfish one.
She's just sort of nodding and letting him go.
Kelsey asked me if I could do it over again, would I change anything? Would I choose different? What do you think the right answer to that question is, Brooks?
She'll just sort of look up a little bit, shrug. I don't think that question's really the one that matters. You usually don't get the chance to do things over. She sort of smiles a little bit. I'd say what matters is what you choose to do now.
I'm not sure she feels the same way.
You might have made a mistake, but so did I.
Did you?
And now I'm doing what I can to rectify it.
But that's the problem, Brooks. I don't know if it was a mistake. It was horrible. But if that's the kind of person I am, then I don't know that she would do any better with me there.
For what it's worth, well, you may be a bit of an ass at times. You're certainly good-hearted.
It's kind of you to say. Don't know if Mirabelle would see it quite the same way. I told Kelsey how to find her.
That was, I think, a good idea.
When I spoke to the priest at the Temple of Laki, I sat for some time in a room set for meditation, where, well, I was to meet a man seeking forgiveness. In a rather poetic moment, the only thing in the room turned out to be a mirror. Appropriate.
Little grunt of laughter.
I didn't find it. I don't know what my forgiveness would be worth. I don't know. I did not regret never knowing my parents. I did not regret that I was thrown by the winds of fate to the Order. And there was even a time that I did not regret the choices I made.
Well, you realize what the problem with that line of thinking is.
Oh?
It's not solely about what you want.
I suppose that's true, isn't it? I have been wholly focused on my own shortcomings. But I am a knight. I don't live for myself. Maybe...
That's not to say you have to, but from what I saw of her, it seemed like she wanted to.
Well, then if we survive this, I suppose I owe her at least the chance to tell me she never wants to see me again.
That's pretty much what I'm doing with Falah now.
You're strong, Brooks. You threw the winds of destiny at your back and then walked back into your children's lives Just gave yourself to them.
It's just like the
Admirable.
archery earlier. Pure chance. Seize your opportunities when you can, my friend.
I suppose there's a wise lesson in that. Chance instead of fate, eh? Maybe it makes just as good a story. Do you mind if I spend some time alone, just enjoying the sky?
Of course. And she'll pat him on the back and walk away.
And Varys will think on what Bruck said, looking at the stars in the sky, and wondering, perhaps, in the God's grasp or in Stone's throw, what sky others are seeing this evening.
Indeed. Sleep does eventually find you all. It is a peaceful one while it lasts. There is gentle rocking of the boat, the gentle creaking. At first it is distracting, but before long it just blends into the white noise. Sound of the waves lapping up against the boat. You all find yourself, well, you're not certain if you've fallen asleep or not. It's sort of that thing of you hear something and you're aware of it again, and you're not certain if you've maybe slept for an hour or 2 hours. Hard to say. But you all hear a sound. Singing. No, not singing. It is melodic, but the words, you can't make them out. Someone is singing up top. Wow, that's more intense than I intended for.
Very cool. I have.
The right song that I picked. All right, fair enough. So, what do you do?
Frenzied sing.
Frenzied singing? I would
Yeah.
say no, but it is hard to ignore. You hear it clearly in your mind.
Rumble, grumble.
Ah.
Let's check this out.
I wanted to ignore it, but, well, bards have been a particular
It
thorn in our
doesn't
side.
it doesn't sound like Melody. Maybe we should do something about
Does not
this.
sound like melody.
No, goodness, I hope it's not that other one.
It's almost distorted. It doesn't quite. It is melodic, but it's not right. Something is wrong about it. It's disconcerting.
Well, then I will head up to the poop deck.
All right.
Suppose Realta will as well, now that she's hearing it's concerning.
Yep.
Meaning that
Yeah,
there could be a
I'll
monster.
also.
You all head up. As you arrive on the deck, you don't find anyone else there, which is strange because there definitely should be some people here. But it is empty. There's no one currently at the wheel of the ship. And it is, save for one person, there is no one else up top as you all arrive. Sitting on the railing of the ship, though, you see a woman. She has deep purple flesh and chitinous plating over parts of her body. It seems to be all that conceals her. Her long black hair cascades down the side of the ship, and it's impossible to tell from where you are just how long it is. Her eyes are a deep crimson red, and they seem to pierce right through you as she gazes in your direction. She smiles and stops singing. That distorted, strange melody fades. Good evening. I trust I have the pleasure of speaking to the whispers in silence.
Can I activate my divine sense? to know
Yeah.
if
Weapon
this is-
draw. Yes.
You sense a fiendish presence about 30 feet from you.
Fiend. I call out.
She bows her head politely. I am General Invidia, dread demoness of envy and loyal servant to Queen Scala. It is lovely to make your acquaintances.
I'm with Mal on this. Nvidia.
Invidie.
Particularly difficult to get these days.
Indeed.
You have no power here. I know there's a chip shortage. No, but Varys will take one step forward. Are you here to deliver a message, or shall we send one to your master, whether you are alive or not?
Indeed. I would very much enjoy burning this ship down and watching you all drown. But I am here as a messenger, first and foremost. I come bearing word from my queen. Whispers in silence, I do so hope you enjoyed the Rainover Festival. I must say there's something satisfying in knowing that so many centuries later, people still think of me so often. I hope my messenger has been hospitable. I would hate to hear that she has mistreated you in some way, or that you have mistreated her. As you journey across the sundered blue, I bid you look at the sky and know that it is where I was betrayed and murdered, and I have not forgotten. She will pay for what she did. And on that note, you have killed one in service to me and taken something important from me. To that end, I have decided that your impudence should be repaid in kind. So I have killed someone in service to you, and I have taken something important from you. Do enjoy your journey to Dawnside. I look forward to seeing you all very soon. And as she finishes, the demoness smiles and bows her head politely once again. Well, it has been lovely meeting you all. I do hope the next time that we meet, it can be under much more violent circumstances. For now, I will content myself with Moonbay.
Who and what, demon?
Who and
was
what?
killed and what was taken?
He puts on a big smile. These are not things that one such as I get to know. But I can tell you who I hope it was. I hope it was that Inquisitor's little sister. If I get to take over Stone's Throw, she will be the first one I skin alive.
If your message is done, leave.
Of course. Have a lovely journey. Enjoy your meals. Get fat on them. And I hope to see you soon. And she vanishes into a mist.
Rialto just kind of grimaces. Don't like that one. Which I know is not an unpopular opinion with dread demons, but still.
You saw the ex-Inquisitor recently. He seemed together?
Fine. Well,
Fine?
he was not broken up about his sister, if that's what you're thinking.
Yes, I feel like he probably would have mentioned that.
I did see Yuki the day before.
That's good, at least.
Indeed.
There are a number of options. And we know she has gone after Moon Bay, if not taken part of it.
I will say one of the times I met with Visitor Sunvale, the map he had a map, and Moon Bay was covered in, I don't really know, war map objects.
Occupied.
Yes.
Varys sighs and looks back up at the sky. We can't dwell on it.
We can do for it.
And this is
Exactly.
all to distract us from our purpose. At the end of the
True.
day, if we break this thing, then we will have to hope the sacrifices were worth it.
you're all able to get back to sleep, and you do find a restful slumber. Past a couple days here as you
Because we're on the water and the sword loses power, right? Because it's
course.
Scala's weakness.
I need
Done.
2 of you to make a con save with a +6 bonus for bearing the sword. Who will be our
So-
first 2 wielders of the blade?
We know that
Caldana.
Well,
Caldana
we
was
knew
one.
Caldana was.
Yes.
Hold on, I need to math this.
I could take an I could take
32.
one.
32. You're fine. You're good. Yeah,
Did she break the sword? Did she dominate the sword?
she does
Does
not.
the sword now serve her?
She has to try to equip it to do that.
All right.
Well, like equip it like she did the other dread demon, or like
I'll take the second one.
All right, Brox, give me a con save.
You said +6 in
Yes.
addition.
+6. Yep.
In
Add-
So that's
addition.
add plus-
26.
You're good as well. So you
does
are
Brux dominate the sword?
both able to get through your nights with the sword, although both of your nights are unpleasant. You do have dreams those nights. They are not good. You dream of things you would much rather not see. Caldana, you do see the dead body of your mother again. Brux, you see yourself fighting Falah with Sanguine Moon in your hands. Not pleasant things.
Yeah, I had a corpse baby. Rude.
Is there anything anyone wanted to do on day
Is it-
2?
He got a whole bespoke dream. I feel crafted.
Carry the sword around for a while. I'm sure you'll get your own hellscape.
Yeah.
Hilarious. I will. We don't have to replay unless you want to, but I would have checked in with Martine again.
Yeah, do it.
He got his cock and balls
At
out
the same time, right?
No,
No.
it's gonna be like 30
When the-
minutes later.
I think Mark
This
gets
is-
up when the
this
cock
is when I-
crows. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
This is when I take my baths, okay? Let's
Yeah.
coordinate our schedules.
Oh my
Maybe
god!
I'll
It'll
wait
be
an
like
hour later.
we're gonna be
As-
looking at the same moon.
As you focus on the Sending Stone, this
Yep.
time you are in Sunvale's office.
Oh, thank God.
And he is at his desk, and he looks distraught.
Martine? Sorry, I
Rialta.
should be warning you when I come, but there's no other way to.
No, of course.
What's wrong?
It has been a difficult morning. Afraid.
What do you mean?
Gentleman Jesse Silver was found dead this morning. Butchered
Where? Where was she?
in her home.
Home.
Yes. Her bodyguard lay dead next to her.
We just received a sort of message from our enemy.
Oh my goodness, that must have been terrifying.
Well, through a dread demon.
I stand by what I said before.
Yes. Well, we wanted to at least hear on. There was no fighting, just a message. We said that one person she killed and something she took in retribution of us killing one of her generals and taking the sword, I'm guessing.
Well, I fear I know who she killed then.
Indeed. Don't know what she took.
As far as we could tell, nothing was taken from Jesse's house. Didn't seem like a burglary. Seemed like an assassination. Rialta, it was
Okay.
messy, to say the least of it. I've seen Dread Demon attacks before, but nothing like that. She suffered a lot.
See, I will alert the others. Sorry, I know she wasn't your favorite person, but she was.
That would be saying the least of it. But she was helping us, and she was on our side, and she was a valuable ally to have.
Who runs the severed hand now?
It's in chaos at the moment. No one is in charge at the moment. Normally it would have fallen to her bodyguard, but He is dead too. I have no doubt the others will make a play for power, and we will be the ones to suffer the brunt of it while they do.
Is Yuki okay?
I've not told her. She has no concept for who Gentleman Jesse Silver is, and I don't intend for her to know.
Right. Just
You think I am wrong? Should I?
No, the dread demon we saw was threatening her.
Goodness.
Specifically.
Do you think she is in danger?
I don't know. I think no one is safe. Dean.
I fear you're correct. I'm sorry. I feel like we have yet to catch each other at a good time.
Perhaps we should schedule. I'm going to be on the boat for several days. What's best for next time?
How about just as the sun dips below the horizon?
I can do that.
When he puts on his PJs.
Then I will look forward to speaking with you under better circumstances tomorrow.
As will I. And apologies for yesterday.
He blushes a very noticeable shade of red.
She just grimaces.
Indeed.
We won't speak of it.
But it was okay though, right? No, you shouldn't say that.
Can you imagine?
We won't speak of it because like you were impressed, or
Because
because
it
you were
was too
disappointed.
big, or because like you're
Like-
disappointed. Yeah.
Like was it? What was the like too big like ew or too big like ew? Like what was the? Yeah, like what was? How did you?
Which part of the meme was it? Was it or
Right. Which? Hey, were you this Drake or this Drake?
yeah,
which
exactly. Like,
which one were you?
No, I quite embarrassing, but think nothing of it. I will.
Unless you want to.
I will speak with you tomorrow, Riel, and then he cuts off.
Okay, well, she's gonna... I know Brooks just did a BRB, but...
Yeah, we should probably give Brooks a moment to come back since this is highly relevant to their
Yeah.
character.
So if anybody else wants to do character things... Alright, so Rialto will
You know
make
what, I
yourself
think
public.
I'm gonna use my blacksmith tools to deforge Sanguine Moon.
All right. So you do take it out of the box first.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Can I do it in the box? How?
No, you have to take it out
I
of the
can't
box.
do
to
it like
deforge
video game style, where I just kind of hit it with my hammer.
No, you'd have to definitely take it out of the box to begin the deconstruction process.
Ah, man. All right, cool. And just, I don't know. I think this is probably a good idea, but can I like slit my hands so like there's like blood pouring out of them while I like
Absolutely,
make
you
an
can.
evil incantation? Okay, that'd probably help. So.
Oh, Mal was also BRB.
All right,
Alright,
so-
this will be fun.
Mal and Brooks have returned. So Rialto
Oh.
just spoke with Inquisitor
What up?
Inquisitor Sunveil and has a report for you all.
Okay.
He's gonna call everyone somewhere they can talk.
You can all meet in one of your rooms. It'd be tight, but you can.
That seems a good place.
She's not like yesterday. She's not blue screening, but she is concerned.
Question. Do you have Fala there?
Should we?
It depends if
Would
Rialto
the
called
way-
her or not.
It's
Yeah, the
definitely
way
relevant.
Rialto-
Yeah, she should be there.
Okay,
Okay,
I was
great,
gonna
just
say
checking.
it depends on how Rialta presents it and everything.
I will say we all need to talk immediately.
All right, great. Fala's there.
Onwards.
Oh God. So she is looks very, very concerned and kind of takes an inhale. So I spoke to Inquisitor Sunveil, and well, it seems I know who the target was from Scala.
The Inquisitor all right?
Oh,
He's fine.
and
Gen-
Yuki.
Yuki's fine. Gentleman Jesse Silver was found dead along with her bodyguard this morning.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Fala.
Fala is staring wide-eyed at you. And she kind of glares. That's not funny.
I'm not joking, Fala. I wouldn't.
He kind of like staggers back against the wall. Bullshit. Bullshit! And she kicks the door open and leaves.
It was
Half get up.
I just nod to Brooks, like, yeah. we got it here.
We gotta hear you.
Anything else?
Just that it was very, very much some sort of dread demon attack, for sure,
Where did it happen?
in her room.
Okay. And exit.
Power vacuum with the severed hand. Everyone's grabbing for power.
Yes, a strong destabilizing element.
Extremely.
But more than that, it is a message. She killed one of the most protected and well-informed people in the most connected, cosmopolitan, and best defended city on the continent, except perhaps for Farhome, wherever that is, if it's findable. And
Right.
she did it in the center of that person's power.
Suppose I should never underestimate the powerful dread demon that no. Still, it is certainly a message. Very terrifying one at that.
And a
imagine-
distraction.
No one or nowhere is safe.
I'm sorry?
No one or nowhere is safe. That's what she's trying to tell us, isn't it?
Certainly.
I think so.
I think the only reason we're not immediately dead is the time she tried, she got scared off.
If she could come for us, she would. She clearly can't, at least not in the same way she came for them. But that's not the point.
Good for anything else.
Yes, anyone who's part of the Alliance is inextricably a target.
He gave no indication of knowing anything missing. Obviously, we have no idea what it could be, and like he has eyes on everything in the city.
No. But this doesn't change anything.
No, just doesn't change what we have to do. Certainly. And well, let's hope there's still a united war effort when we return.
There better be. If there isn't, well, that's the thing, right? I'm glad Falah's not here to hear it, but the reality is that the death of Jesse Silver, while a powerful message, really hasn't changed the stakes at all. And I don't say that happily. I merely mean that Scala has always been very clear in her intent this time. The complete eradication of everyone.
No, but this was personal.
Yes, it was. Because she can't eradicate everyone yet. Her power is great, but it is not infinite. Otherwise, she wouldn't have just killed Jesse Silver and her bodyguard. The continent wouldn't be standing.
True. Can only do what she does through causing despair. All attacks.
And that is why we cannot give in to it.
Speaking of which, Brooks, you make your way up top. And not hard to find Falah. She is unloading on one of the training dummies that is up there and just utterly destroying this thing. You don't really think of her as much of a fist fighter, but she is right now, and she is punching through tears.
Hang back for just a moment. before I come up to... Is there, like, one beside it?
There's probably like 3 in a row.
Okay. So I would come up to the one beside it and start going through a sort of basic warm-up thing beside her.
She is throwing wild haymakers and just punching as utterly hard as she can. You can hear the wood splintering and cracking as she lays into it.
I am not going that hard.
Yeah.
But I'll give it like an appropriate amount of time. Like I'm, sort of giving her room to say something first, and when it becomes obvious she isn't, I'll just sort of, I'm sorry.
She looks over and there's tears in her eyes. When everyone else in the world spat on me, they took me in. You left. Dad was dead. Sister was off to school. Council hated me. The people abandoned me. And they didn't think twice. They saw me and gave me food. Taught me to fight. Gave me work.
And I'm grateful they did.
It can't be. Mom knows everything. She would have known this was coming. She would have stopped it. She'd had a plan for it. She has a plan for everything.
For now, you might be onto something, but for now we have to treat it as true. And it doesn't change anything with what we have to do now.
I'm going to kill her. I'm going...
We will. Together.
I'm going to squeeze her neck until the twitching stops. And then she buries into you and hugs you as she cries.
And of course we are comforting her.
And, yeah. Blah is not quite right the next few days. You all decide maybe she shouldn't hold on to the sword.
Yeah.
I'll take an extra whatever time with the sword.
Go ahead and you can do 2 more con checks, everyone, or whoever wants to take them for the next 2 days.
I'm occupied.
I can take one.
Well, that's a 31 for me on one of them.
All right. Let's have Mal do one as well.
I rolled a 19 and an 18 on these.
Very nice.
Do you want me to do one too?
Yeah, you know what? Mal, Varys, and Caldana, I'll go for it. Yeah, Mal, con save.
You get +6 on the save, Mal. 14 plus 6 is 20.
And Melody is also good. All right, all 3 of you succeed on your check, so you'll be good for days 3, 4, and 5. I'm gonna trip over here.
I'm occupado.
Yes.
I'm on mom duty.
Yeah, it's a rough couple days for Falah, who is going through the many stages of grief.
You get a journal.
Yeah. Rialta provides for you a journal with some explanation.
I will.
It also talks
convey
about
all
this
of that.
circle thing where Falah gets to stand in the center circle and everyone else has to stand in circles around her. But you really don't feel like drawing circles is going to help, so you're just like, we'll just help you out. We'll just be here for
She
you.
explains it's not
That's
just it's just a
that-
mental idea.
That's a dwarf thing, I think.
It's just the basic idea that she's in the center because she's the one with the most grief about it. That's all. It's a real
Uh,
thing, guys. It's a real psychological thing.
Yes, no, I know, but that is in characters. Like she's talking some
Yeah,
dwarf
you know
thing
what-
about
you know-
circles, but I don't know about all that.
You know what? The only issue with that is that I don't know that psychology exists in this world. Mal wants to meet with Varys and or Rialta.
I mean, I'm available. I imagine Varys is available, so whatever.
Rialto, go
if-
ahead and make a stargaze check again. You
Okay.
can do it for night 2 as well.
You'll get advantage.
Yep.
My highest I got was 16.
Out of you rolled 4 of them already.
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
The highest
if
there was.
the law needs to
18.
give this poor training dummy a break, Caldana will volunteer herself as a punching bag.
Flaw
T2s.
definitely takes you up on a sparring session, and she is fucking vicious. Melody.
Since when do rogues get reckless attack?
Melody, you're able to find Sir Varys at one point to talk.
Sorry, keep low. I don't have to tell you.
Oh, Melody. Good to see you. How are you doing?
You want the honest answer or the polite answer?
I always believe in honesty, Melody.
Kind of not doing good.
I see. Would
It's-
go on?
It's a mess of a lot of stuff. And I don't know why, but I didn't realize that taking us there to where we're going would take me.
So close to home?
Yeah.
Is it hard to go home again, Melody?
A little.
Why?
And Melody kind of like you see tears start to form in her eyes, and she's trying really hard not to make it look like she's about to cry, but she's about to fucking cry.
Varys is going to pull a handkerchief out of his trousers and hand it to her.
Because I didn't know if there was someone who was gonna be there to go home to. Because I didn't want that last time I saw them to be the last time I see them. Because I thought that I thought if I didn't go home, then there was a chance things would still be okay. But now I don't know how to get home, and I don't know if they'll be mad at me
For what?
not doing what I was told to do. I didn't want to say goodbye.
Traverse will get up and sit next to her. He put his hand on her back. Melody, I don't know if you ever left your home, but I know that it's a scary thing to go back to. The truth is like that. But if you will forgive me, I find it ludicrous that anyone could be anything but proud for what you've accomplished at this time. You have walked through a rather callous world that has sought, even since I have known you, to break your high-minded outlook dozens of times. And you have steadfast on that line, believing in the best in people. I wish you would do yourself the same courtesy.
But if they don't want me back,
I find it incredible that if they didn't, but in all honesty, Melody, if they don't, then they didn't deserve you in the first place.
I wasn't even supposed to be out here.
Me neither.
No, we're not supposed to leave until we know how to get back. And if you're not like my mom or my mama, then you can't get back. They teach you how to get home. But mom and mama wanted me to see the world with them. They wanted me to see what we do to help heal. That night, it was a night that I remember a lot. His mom would be on stage singing, and mama would hand out food that she made. It was not as cold like in the mountain, but the stew was warm. And people came, and they tried to give them money. We wouldn't take it. We're not supposed to take money. Not for personal reasons, at least. But after that night, the following morning,
something felt wrong. And, and they told me to run. Don't look back. And that they'd be waiting for they'd be back at home. They told me to run. Because bad people were coming. People who weren't happy that we were there. It was scary, so I ran and I didn't look back. I ran. I didn't want to go home without them.
And that's why you've been wandering. To find them first before you go home.
I wanted to make sure they were okay. I wanted to say sorry.
Sorry for what, Melody?
That I didn't do what they wanted me to do.
You ran. And you explored the world. And you've devoted yourself to healing it.
What right do I have?
To what?
I'm not a performer like them. I haven't gone through the rites. I don't have any rights to do what I've been doing. I've been doing them because I thought at least that's some kind of atonement for leaving them behind.
I see.
I hope that at the very least they could forgive me for doing it.
Forgive you. Ferris thinks for a while. Melody. He hands you the handkerchief. I'm going up to the top deck, and I would like you to clean yourself up and bring your instrument in the next 5 minutes. I have something to show you. All right? Will you join me?
Okay.
5 minutes. I'll be there. Waiting. Varys is going to grab the others, if he can. Maybe not Brux, if Brux is with Fala.
I presume so.
Likely, yes.
We are actually going to take 5 minutes of that note to let our players get right with themselves, and
Sure.
we'll be back momentarily. If you need to use the bathroom or grab a drink, go for it. It'll be our
Sounds good.
Okay.
Oof.
I am back.
We are
Cool.
back.
So I needed a moment
Okay.
to get myself
Yeah,
together after that. That was
that's what-
emotional.
That's
Yes.
what I was saying in there. Is that was really hard for me sitting here because it's like all instincts are screaming, provide comfort, and I'm
Yes.
like, I have to like not interrupt.
All right. So sorry about that, everyone. Where we left off, yes, Severus was heading topside with the other Whispers in Silence while Melody cleaned up. And yes, take it away.
Just want to make sure Mal's here and good to go.
Looks like she. Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Varys will ask the party to stand behind him, and have Melody in front of him. He is wearing his armor and has his sword.
I think it's just Caldana and Delta behind you. So yes.
Cool. Melody of the Ivory, Cervera says as he looks at her. My name, as you know, is Cerberus. I am the Knight of Hemlock. It is the way of our order and the necessity of rights that when someone comes of age, he raises up and lets Hemlock land on his arm. They are to take an oath, and with that oath comes the rights and responsibilities of an adult. You have performed good service in your apprenticeship. When I was a young man, I was taken at the age of 6 by a knight named Sir Braylor. His sigil was the Owl. His title, given to him by the Grand Master of the Order, the last of our Grand Masters, because upon his death, none other was named, was Knight Skald. The Skalds are an old order from Mitra Glorianda, whose role is teller of tales, keeper of songs, and holder of history. My master died not passing on that title. The order has been without its skald for far too long. My master, Ferris says, I was angry for a very long time because I did not understand why he did not bequeath to me everything that I had trained so hard for. I felt abandoned and guilty. Because when he passed, I did not know where to go. I had failed him. I had failed in the order, and I did not know if I deserved the rights I had been gifted. And now I know why. I do not know whether it was fate or luck. Varys looks, he knows Brux isn't there, but he's thinking of her. That brought you to me, and to us. And I do not know whether it was fate or luck that separated you from your loved ones. But know this. No member of the Order is without family. No member of the Order is without purpose. No member of the Order is without the right. The right of a knight to defend this world against despair. And I know no one better in all the world more readily equipped than you to bear that title. Kneel, Lady Melody. And assuming Melody does kneel, Ferris would take his sword out and place it on either side of her very large shoulders. Lady Melody, your sigil. He looks up. I know nothing but that you have the heart of a dragon. And so, Melody of the Ivory, Knight of the Dragon, Knight Skald of the Order of Flora and Fauna, I bid thee rise, accept your title, and accept the responsibility and rights of your new namesake. And Varys will take the sword away.
When Melody stands up, she's still fighting that urge to cry, especially since even she knows like how significant this is, like as far as rights go. And that lasts about 5 seconds before she runs like towards the group and tackles them into a dragonborn hug.
Varys will throw his sword down, wrap his arms around her. And even though he can barely reach it, he'll try to whisper it so that only she can hear. You are worthy. You are wanted. And you are not alone, Melody.
Melody, you have had a coming-of-age ceremony cast upon you. You are now recognized as an adult. All the rights and responsibilities thereof. While it's not super important for the next 24 hours, whenever you make an ability check, you can roll a d4 and add it to the results. But more pertinently, you are now a member of the Order of Flora and Fauna, a knight. And as such, going forward, whenever you level up, if you wish it, I will allow you to take your levels in Paladin.
Oh shit.
If you wish it. Always your decision. And indeed, day passes. You do get your... That night, though. That night, Rialta, you go up towards the top deck and try to stare into the sky. Rialta, as you gaze upon the stars tonight, you see a sight that you could never have imagined in your wildest dreams. For as you gaze, taking in some of the familiar patterns and constellations, the pictures start to become more clear. You begin to see things in a way you'd never fathomed before, and you can feel the raven tattoo flying across your body, gently burning, but only enough to remind you it's there. And then as you gaze up, you don't see stars at all. You see pictures in the sky, clearly as if you were looking at an illustration in a book. They move and interact with one another. And what's more, you can hear them too. As you look, you see Saren. He is not where you saw him last time, but he is somewhere you recognize. He is on the shore of the Twilight Coast, and you can see water stained blood red lapping at his feet. Gala's voice speaks up. I think our dear Sky Dwarf should be the one to do it. Saren jerks his head up, looking in surprise. He scowls. I'm not here to be your executioner, demon. You want them dead, do it yourself. Gala smirks in his direction. Is that so? And yet I could not have accomplished any of this without you, little boy. So much blood on your hands and on your feet, as it were. No matter what, the life of everyone on this beach is forfeit. From where I stand, you could at least take responsibility and be the one to swing the sword, says, offering a long sword towards him. Fear comes across his face, doubt, confusion. He grits his teeth, stepping back. I have done what is necessary for the moon to rise in the west, and it shall. And I will be proven right. Scala's sneer is palpable. Indeed. I have held up my end of the bargain. But you should know, I have a new toy now, and I no longer have need of you. And nowhere in our agreement was it necessary for you to live to see the moon rise in the west. So take this sword and see your ambitions realized, or I will kill you here and now. And then who will be left to defeat me? To undo all this? Who will see the completion of your prophecy then? He taunts. Theron glanced down, biting at his lip. The look of defeat is evident on his face. It is the look of a man who has played his hand and lost, and all he has left now is to hope for a miracle card on the last draw. So he takes the sword in his hand and approaches the elven woman on her knees. You recognize her as well. Captain Alspeth kneels, her eyes closed as a trail of blood runs down over her face. Her hands are bound behind her back, and she doesn't look up to meet his gaze as he approaches. Tears streak down Saren's cheeks as he stands over her. I'll fix this. I swear to you I'll fix this. Barely able to get the words out. Captain Alspeth doesn't respond to him, instead looking down. Simply utters her final words, and whether you speak Elven or not, you do understand them now. In death, life anew. In life anew, hope. In hope, another day. She then collapses to the ground as the sword impales down into the back of her neck. Theron staggers away, choking back a sob as Scala places a hand on his shoulder. Excellently done, she says and purrs into his ear. Murderer. His fists clench and tears flow freely now, earning a false sympathetic smile from the dread demon of despair. Fear not, little boy. You'll stop me. You'll fix it, right? And your vision ends.
Callie, what the fuck?
That was dark.
Don't make deals with Scala. The lesson that we're learning tonight.
You're not gonna like when I take my next level in Warlock.
No, they're not gonna like it when you take your next level in Warlock.
Yeah.
That's also true.
But for one night, Rialta, you have seen the stars the way Selena does.
Yeah. Like that's a lot. Well, it's probably late at night, but she does put John to bed, just rather sad.
As you sit down, you can sense Selena, her presence. She is close.
Lena, I thought you said you couldn't come back.
I said I did not know. I didn't realize that you would see the stars in such a way tonight.
Neither did I. What happened?
You are possessed of the gift,
For you?
perhaps. But you now see that the gift is also frequently a curse.
Indeed. Easy to hide behind the riddles of the stars. Have to fully realize what they get.
I have often wondered if the Sky Dwarves could truly read the sky perfectly, would they want to?
I think some would, but those people would be rather frightening.
He is lost, Rialta. I know what it is to have a family member lost and to search for them.
I don't know if this was mind.
I know what that is too.
In your time, once you sparked, do you not look the stars to know what fate became of your son?
She gives sort of a sad smile. I didn't need to.
I mean,
When I sparked is when I understood the truth. The truth that I had never been willing to let myself know. He was already dead. And he had been for a long time. I did not need to watch it to know.
how long has my brother been lost? Much fail him.
The dread demon of despair is very good at what she does. Finds what you desire with the most noble of intentions, often. Forces you to compromise yourself away a piece at a time till you can't go back anymore. He is without a good option now. He has to be right.
Gone too far.
He has.
Don't know if I can be. This is my brother.
He is. And he will remember it before the end.
You mean?
Perhaps I am now the one who is speaking on faith.
See. Why are you here? You don't need to. You don't seem to only be here to comfort me, not just because you want to come of power.
You used a portion of my power, saw something that which, well, mortals typically don't see. Lockheed has bet it all on you. And it's not fair. Not right. But she has. On the 6 of you, as it turns out.
Elsie also included in all of that?
Not in Lockheed's plans, no. Machine Prince has opted to work on his own.
6, you mean, or is there another?
Are there not 6 traveling with you?
Blah, then.
He probably has a piece to play in this in some way. She may not be blessed by any of us, however, well, neither was Lockheed when she stood against Scala.
What future holds for her, then? Is leaving.
She is. And grief often leads to despair. Look no further than your brother for that. Sanguine Moon will try to prey on it.
Are you saying that she could betray us?
She glances out at the sky, the window. Possibly. Although, I do not think so.
Suppose her true role is still yet to be realized.
I'm certain that she serves a purpose, that she is with you for a reason. What that reason is remains to be seen. But, well, the 5 of you have well exceeded any expectations that we could have placed.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that we are performing our duties well. Suppose time will tell if we are successful. Will the sword actually break in that volcano?
Glances out the window again. At a price. Yes.
Price.
Rialto,
Hmm.
the secret you keep from them is a dangerous one.
Defense. I hardly see how.
Because of who your enemy is. She will not hesitate to use any angle she can. Do not think of Scala as a person. She has not been in thousands of years, or in 1,000 years. She is a monster, a force of nature. You can no more argue with her than you can the wind. It is in her nature to use every advantage.
She grits her teeth as her face hardens and she looks away. If I must, but I just can't afford to have that come out now.
I understand. Always it is your decision. The decision of mortals, and never of the divine. That is our nature. We have bet it all on you. And if the measure of any decision is whether you'd make the same choice again, I feel pretty good about my choice. Not so sure about the Red Lady. She did okay.
She's kinda... There's a strangled chuckle at that. Lana has been a good ally.
I am glad.
Why did you pick me? Out of morbid curiosity.
Smiles at that. What would you guess?
We have something in common.
Good. What might that be?
We've experienced deep loss and longing for that person to return.
Good.
What else would there be? Thought my skills were those above par. My connection to my brother being involved in all this. You could have picked him. That would have saved some time.
Because I, too, know what it is to grieve and never feel like it gets better. I want better for you.
She looks down at her hands and eyes. Well, it's glad one of us does.
No, well, as I said before, in case this is the last time we speak, stick to the path. You'll do well. Oh, and that reminds me, I do need to tell Talia she was right.
About what?
The elf is certainly cute, isn't he? And she disappears.
He's just whining and goes, what the hell is going on here? And with that, she tries to sleep. Probably not very successfully.
Indeed. Does everyone have like 15 minutes? Are we okay to go for a little bit longer? We're almost at the end, so.
I'm okay. Are you okay?
I'm
Mal?
good.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like 15 minutes, yes, we can do
Okay.
that for sure.
Great. So, the next day, as you all awaken, is the 5th day of the trip. And you, something's a little different as you head down to the galley that morning. The food is again delicious. However, the cooks are eating out or at that time. They haven't eaten yet. So they are currently sitting at a table and enjoying their breakfast as well.
Carrie's internet's being really spotty. She hasn't been able to hear a lot of the stuff
Yeah.
we're doing.
For like half an hour or longer.
Oh, okay. Sucks. Car, can you hear us?
I can for now.
Okay, great. Well, we'll try and see if this helps.
I'm sorry I fucked up the cameras, but
That's all right. Everyone's gonna play each other from here on in tonight. No,
All right,
Who
I will
am
be
I? Who am I?
Silveris.
you are
You're
Brooks.
Brooks.
am
Hell
I?
yes.
You're Rialta.
Oh damn it! I have to be wise and shit.
Fala, I'm a
No.
good
No, you're
mom.
you're tiny Kara Skullbrighter. Jesus Christ.
Captain
Skullbrighter. There
Captain
we go.
Rhea
Jesus.
Skullbrighter. Yes. So that morning, as you all are having your breakfast, you look over and you see the two cooks that are working here. You do recognize them with their lavender hair and orange eyes. Their smaller frames, elves. But you do recognize Mira and Michaela, the twins. They ran the Twilight's Rest Inn back in Moon Bay, and you had a number of meals with them. Michaela and Mira.
Mira, okay.
Mhm.
Mira, okay. You were able to leave safely.
One of them looks up. Oh! Mira! Mira glances over. It's like, what? Hey!
I thought the food tasted familiar.
Well, yes, of course. I you were on the ship.
You guys added star anise now.
Oh, well, there was star anise down here, and it needs it. Oh, man. These ingredients are terrible.
Well,
You do a good job.
Well, you spin it into a work of art.
Well, we aim to please, as always. It's so wonderful to see you.
mm-hmm.
What brings you onto the Ruby Eclipse?
We are heading north. We have a very important mission.
Yes, I recall from when you were in Moon Bay. You are working for goddesses, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Just realized this thing is called the Ruby Eclipse.
it sure is.
You just got that. It was my idea. Kind of.
Yeah. So, well, that's fantastic. We're so glad to see that you're still doing well. Things have been pretty crazy since you left.
Yes. She realizes the vision she had, visibly grimaces, and goes, I hear Moon Bay. I'm glad you're able to escape Moon Bay.
Yes. Mira kind of glances down and looks angry. Michaela kind of gives a half smile. We wanted to stay, actually. Provide meals for the soldiers. But Captain Alspeth wouldn't allow it. She had us arrested and put on a ship and sent away.
Right, Captain Alspeth.
Wonderful woman. But so anyway, we took a job working on here until we can figure out how to get back home and help out, do our part.
So, did anyone else leave with you?
Oh, yes. As many people as we could fit on the ship actually were sent away. Civilians, mostly. The entirety of the army and the guard actually stayed to fight. They're, doing well. We hope.
Right. Well,
Don't you worry, Mira finally says. The elves are some of the finest archers in the history of Serene, and Moon Bay will not fall. Michaela doesn't look convinced.
Just Rialta.
She saw how many demons there were.
Yeah, well, Rialta will just nod. It's certainly full of very strong people.
Indeed. Well, it's very wonderful to see you again. We're
Yes.
so happy to see a familiar face, if nothing else.
Yes, same.
And I'm glad the food is good.
So are we.
Yes. If you happen to speak to Captain Skullbrighter, maybe you could put in for some better ingredients. We would be eternally grateful.
Oh, definitely. I mean, you guys are what's the magic word? for magic people. Wizards. There we go. Wizards in the kitchen.
Well, she's actually a cleric, and I'm a. Oh, never mind. Yes. We do our best to prepare well in the kitchen.
I
Live up
finally
to
remembered
the trade.
enough.
Yes. Wouldn't want mom to be disappointed in us after all. Yeah. Been so wonderful to see you. We have to get back and start doing prep work for tonight, but glad you're well.
If you guys have a free moment, would you be able to teach me how to do that stuff too? I'm kind of trying to learn.
Melody and Mira kind of glance at each other. Would you care to come back and learn with us as we will happily teach you as we work tonight? You could learn and shadow us.
Yes, please. I have my own tools and everything.
Excellent. Yes, we'd be happy to teach as much as we can. And you go to do so. And that is where we will wrap up for this evening. Almost. Kara,
Uh-oh.
I need a perception or insight. Your choice.
I think those are both the same roll for me, but let me check. Oh, I actually have Okay, come on.
Did I just crash?
19?
Hello?
Kenku's off on my ears.
Oh, I hear it just fine.
I still hear
Oh,
it.
no,
too.
I
I
hear
hear
it.
it.
Sorry.
But I mean, your connection, Callie, was starting to fizzle for me, so it might just be that your connection dropped, Kenku.
Oh,
The
now I hear.
program's just frozen.
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh no.
What's wrong?
It's just because you took it off the channel.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you said something froze. That was when my oh no was. It was just late.
Oh.
Gotcha.
19?
Great. Hold up. Tab. Connect Discord for more outputs? What do you mean connect Discord for more outputs? What the fuck are you talking about?
I think that's
What?
Why are you not connected to Discord anymore?
Did it do that sort of thing where it's just like, no, we're gonna randomly log you out?
That's
Okay,
what
there we
fucking
go.
happened to me at Fuji.
There we go.
I know the one we used for the Pathfinder game, the VTT we used for that, literally like every 3 weeks I have to log back in
Ugh,
there.
that sucks. All right. Sorry.
19.
So,
She rolled
yeah,
a-
before we wrap up, we're gonna do a closing vignette. Kara, you said what'd you have for a perception or insight check?
19.
19?
Okay. Kara, you do notice something different. Something is missing. You've only just noticed it. It's just gone missing. And only in the absence of this thing you actually realize that it was ever there at all. Since you came back to life, since you got your second chance, someone has been watching you. Not in a creepy way, but more like you've always known that someone has your back, that someone's always watching over you. But that feeling is gone now. High atop the tower, known as Death's Knell, a large cloud of black miasma forms in the throne room, and through the portal, Scala limps out into the massive empty room. Blood streaks down over her face and down over her body. One of her arms hangs limply at her side. She grunts, clutching at her ribs as she walks forward, slowly staggering her way over to her obsidian throne. And with a loud grunt of pain, she turns and collapses down into the throne. And as she does, she reaches into her pack, withdrawing from it a deep red crystal. And her lips curl into a wicked sneer. One down. And that's where we'll wrap up for this evening.
She's turned redly into magicite? What the hell?